Hi there, welcome to November Favorites. As always, I have both beauty and lifestyle products to share with you. I do apologize, this video is a little bit later in coming than I would normally like for it to be. I apologize for that. As I mentioned in my previous favorites video, we are going through a very stressful time in our family with my father's illness. I mentioned that video that he's been diagnosed with ALS, and so that's brought about quite a few changes for us. I will be bringing you an update on his condition. I'm just not ready to do that right now. Some things are kind of changing right now, some decisions that need to be made, and it's just a difficult thing to talk about, and I don't have all of the answers yet either. So I will probably just put that in a separate video somewhere down the road. And I also just wanted to keep this about favorites for those of you who are just interested in hearing about that. So it's just something sort of light and fun to talk about right now in the midst of everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my beauty product favorites, and a couple of these things are items that I mentioned to you in my Sephora haul video, and now they are favorites. I'm really happy to follow up and tell you. So let me just go ahead and start with those first. So the first item that I had purchased during that sale haul was this Makeup Forever Aqua Liner. This is in matte brown, which is number 12. I really like this eyeliner. It's worked out very well, and it is waterproof, but it's turned out to not be nearly as difficult to remove in the evening as I thought it would be. I thought this was going to be really tough to get off, but it's not. It's actually been really nice. It's no more difficult to remove than any other waterproof makeup, and I would say it's actually a lot easier to remove than the Maybelline Full and Soft Mascara that I wear quite often. So this is a liquid liner. It has a pointed felt tip. It's very fine, so it's really nice for creating a very fine, precise line. I can stay really close to my lashes, which I like, and I prefer an espresso color, which this is. I don't really like black, and then a lot of the browns are just too light, but this is just a really perfect color. It is not pulling off like my L'Oreal Liner Intense was, and what I mean by that is I would put on that liner, then I would curl my lashes, and when I pull the curler away, it was actually pulling off the liner. Now that had only happened with my most recent tube of it, but I don't know what was going on with that, so I decided just to try a different product. And this has been much better. This really holds on my lashes. It doesn't travel throughout the day. It doesn't go up into the crease or anything like that. So I've been really pleased with it. It's a little bit more than I'd like to spend on a liner, but my experience with liquid liners that do tend to last a very long time. So I'm going to kind of play that by ear, but this is a liner I would fully recommend. I think it was maybe a little bit difficult for me to use the very first time because of the type of wand that it was. It seemed like the one from L'Oreal was a little bit easier for me to get the hang of, but by the second time using this, it was really easy, so don't let that scare you off of this product. All right, the next item that I purchased during that sale haul was a lip balm from Clinique. So this is the Clinique, let's see, this is the Repair Wear Intensive Lip Treatment. I wanted something that didn't have any color or scent or fragrance to it, just something to put on every day, whether it was before applying lipstick or just throughout the day to keep my lips hydrated. And I decided to give this a try based on the reviews, and I've been really, really pleased with it. It has no fragrance, it has no taste, it has no scent. I guess that would be the same as fragrance, but it's just a really nice lip balm to use. It's very hydrating. It doesn't have any shimmer or sparkle in it, but it does have a very nice sheen that it gives your lips. I really like the appearance of my lips when I use this, and overall, I'm really, really happy with it. I'm glad that I got it on sale. It's more than I would typically spend for a daytime lip balm. I usually spend a little bit more on my nighttime lip treatments because to me that's something that is really an intense type of treatment that I need every night to keep my lips hydrated the next day. But balm is something that I usually don't quite spend as much on, but this one I think was absolutely worth it. I believe that all of the reviews about this were correct, and I'm really enjoying it, and I just love that it doesn't have any fragrance or taste to it because that can really bother me throughout the day. So sometimes I use this as a primer before lipstick, and sometimes I just reapply it throughout the day just to keep my lips hydrated, and it's been wonderful for both. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is something that I realized I never followed up with you about. It was a purchase that I made a while back, and this is the Shiseido Eyelash Curler. I have terrible lashes that are really difficult to curl, and this has done a really good job. So When I first got it, I didn't really understand what the hype was about. I didn't think it worked all that well. It was a little bit firm in the pad, a little bit more firm than I would like, and it was sort of pinching my lashes and my lash line. And after using it for a couple of weeks, that changed, and now I really love it. What I love about it most, I think, is the shape, and I do think that this is something that's very subjective. I think that not all eyelash curlers are right for everyone, so I do think it takes some trial and error. This one has a little bit, well, I don't know if there's a way I can show this to you. It has a little bit more of a flat shape, and so this sits up against my eyes really well. It does better than any other shape curler that I've used before. So I've been really enjoying this one. It seems to get to the base of my lashes, really grab a hold of them and give me a nice curl, and it's comfortable to use. It's got a replacement pad that came with it, but I haven't had to change that yet. So overall, I'm really enjoying it, and I would recommend it. I do think it's a very nice curler and something that I would repurchase in the future if I needed to. Okay, moving on to a skincare product. So I think I just mentioned to you in my empties video that while I've been using CeraVe cleansers for a long time, my skin in the past month has just really started to go crazy. I'm sure there's a lot of different factors involved in that, including stress, but in any case, I decided that I just needed to make some changes. I love my CeraVe products, and I don't really think it has anything to do with them, but I knew that my skin just needed something different because I've been using those for such a long time, and it just wasn't working out for me in this point in time. So I decided to use something I'd gotten a sample of a while back, and this is the Clinique Liquid Facial Soap, and this is in mild. This is something that can be a little bit confusing when you go to the Clinique site because you'll type in liquid facial soap and this will come up, but there's actually three or four versions of this. So there's a mild, there's an extra mild, and I think there's just a regular version. But so I wanted to be very specific. This is the mild version. So my skin is combination, and I wouldn't say this has any hydrating properties. I do definitely need to apply moisturizer afterwards, but it has really calmed my skin down. This doesn't have any fragrance. It does have a nice lather. It pulls my skin a little bit tight after I use it, I'm going to be honest with you, but it doesn't cause any rebound oiliness, which I really like. It's not overly drying. It's just keeping my skin actually very normalized right now, because despite the fact that we're getting a little bit less humidity in our air right now, my skin is still pretty oily, and so I needed something to kind of balance that out and stop these breakouts, and my skin has just really reacted well to this. It immediately, within a couple of days, calmed everything down. I haven't had any new breakouts, and the ones that I had, I've also been spot treating, but everything just sort of calmed down a little bit. I started using this twice a day, so I use it in the morning, of course, when I'm not wearing anything on my face, and then after I remove my makeup with my makeup removing wipes in the evenings, I use this, and my skin's just really responding well to it. So I recommend this, and having tried it in the past, I knew that I was going to like it, but I'd not used it on a long-term basis. So now that I have, I'm really, really pleased. Glad that I made the change, and obviously it's just really working well with my skin right now. Alright, so the final beauty product that I want to talk to you about is a new nail polish favorite. This might be one of my favorites that I've purchased this year, or at least in the fall season. I am loving this color. It is what I'm wearing today. This is Essie Smokin' Hot. It is a very dark, smoky purple color. I just think it's gorgeous. I just love it so much. It doesn't really have any brown to it. I would say it's a cool color, but I don't know, it's just one of my favorites. I keep reapplying it. I was wearing this past week, and then I took it off yesterday because it was starting to chip, and I've reapplied it. I've worn it so many times. It's just the one that I keep going to over and over lately, and I'm really, really happy to have it. Alright, so now let's move on to some lifestyle favorites. My first lifestyle favorites are a few things that I've mentioned in recent videos. So I did a review and what's in my bag for you on my new Michael Kors top zip tote, or is it zip top? I always get it backwards. I never say it right the first time. But this is it, and this is in the color Cinder. I will link to those videos below if you'd like to see more about it, but I am absolutely in love with this handbag. I really loved my multifunction tote, but it was just getting a little bit bigger than what I needed, and right now I just wanted to simplify a little bit, downsize just a bit, I do still carry quite a few things, but this has plenty of room for me, and I am absolutely in love with the color. I think it's just gorgeous. It reminds me so much of my favorite eyeshadow color, which is the Bobbi Brown Slate. This is a warm gray. It's a brownish gray. It also has a little bit of a purple tinge to it, but it's just beautiful. I fell in love with it right away, and it has not disappointed. My favorite thing is probably the top zip. It's just really nice to keep everything safe and secure inside of here. And so that brings me to my next couple of favorites, which I also mentioned in my What's in My Bag video. These are new to me. I've never had this brand before, but these are my little Le Sport sack bags. I've really enjoyed these, and they come in so many different styles, but this is the Kevin Cosmetic, and then I also have the 3-zip Cosmetic. So I'm actually keeping makeup items in here, and then all of my little miscellaneous items. I call this my little bits and bobs bag, but I really just love both of these, and they're holding up really well. They're very generously sized, but they're also soft so that they can take up less space in my bag, and so I can fill them up as much as I need to, or I could just put a few items, and then because they're soft, they don't take up a lot of room, which is really nice, but it helps keep things organized and from rolling around inside my bag. So those are a couple more favorites, and then I have 2 more items in the lifestyle category that I wanted to share with you. I have been noticing as our air is drying out a little bit more this time of year, I am getting quite a scratchy throat. I know that I'm not sick, it's just that kind of dry tickle that you get in the back of your throat that sometimes a drink of water just won't get rid of. So I decided to go to Walgreens and see if I couldn't find something that might kind of help coat my mouth a little bit, coat my throat, and just get rid of that tickle. So I found these Halls Breezers. They're probably honestly more candy than anything, but they have, let's see, what was the ingredient? I want to say this was glycerin. No, actually pectin. I'm sorry, it's fruit pectin is the active ingredient that coats your mouth, and they taste really good. This is like a mixed berry flavor. It says cool berry, so they have a little bit of a cool, refreshing mintiness to them, but then also the berry flavor. So I really like the way they taste, and they do a good job. So I've been keeping a couple of these in my purse. I always keep a couple here at my desk. Sometimes I like to use these before I'm going to be filming a video so that I don't get any of those coughing spells while I'm trying to talk to you. But these are really yummy, and they seem to be doing a good job. Alright, so my final lifestyle favorite is something that was introduced to me by my father-in-law in this past month. So we've been spending a lot more time together, and I started noticing that he was drinking one particular soda that I've never seen before. And I don't drink a lot of soda, but this one really piqued my interest. So this is Dr. Brown's Celery. And if you've not tried this before, it is really interesting, and it's something that the first time I tasted it, I thought, do I like this? And then I immediately thought right after that, yes, I love this. So it has a celery flavor to it, which I know sounds really unusual for a soda, but hear me out. This is fantastic. It is so refreshing. It tastes a lot more like a ginger ale, or maybe a ginger ale combined with a Sprite or 7-Up. It's a clear soda, and it's just got a really bright, kind of fruity taste. So while you can get that little hint of celery, it's not the overwhelming taste of it. It's just unusual, it's different, but it is so good and so refreshing. At my grocery store, you can usually find this in the kosher section, so I'm not sure where you might find it in your grocery stores, but just look around for this Dr. Brown's brand, and it is Celery, C-E-L-R-A-Y. And they also have a cream soda that I had before, and it's really, really good as well. If you like cream sodas, the Dr. Brown's brand is fantastic. So those are all of my favorites for the month of November. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye.